All right, so today I wanted to talk about the Lex Friedman interview with Sam Altman. He's the OpenAI CEO. Basically, ChatGPT, all the new AI stuff that's coming out. And not a lot of people are talking about it, I feel like. And to be fair, for context, I am not a fan of AI, though I like using ChatGPT. I'm impressed by it. All my friends, hate that I keep talking about it because it scares me, all right? I think that the more I use it and see all this stuff coming out, I just fear a world where everything is going to be done by AI. And I mean, there's people like Neil deGrasse Tyson who's like, oh, who cares? If AI does everything for us, we could just go chill on the beach. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's cool for like an hour. But I mean, at the same time, I'm not the type. I mean, it's like if it can do everything for us, who am I to say not to make that? Like, that's cool. If it could cure cancer and all that stuff, that's awesome. But I don't know, man. It bums me out. I mean, let's start with the introduction to this. Just watch how dark this introduction is.
Please allow me to say a few words about the possibilities and the dangers of AI. This is a critical moment. We stand on the precipice of fundamental societal transformation, where soon, nobody knows when, but many, including me, believe it's within our lifetime. The collective intelligence of the human species begins to pale in comparison, by many orders of magnitude, to the general superintelligence in the AI systems we build and deploy. It is terrifying because of the power that superintelligent AGI wields to destroy human civilization, intentionally or unintentionally. The power to suffocate the human spirit in the totalitarian way of George Orwell's 1984, or the pleasure-fueled mass hysteria of Brave New World, where, as Huxley saw it, people come to love their oppression, to adore the technologies that undo their capacities to think.
Okay, yeah, cool. Dude, that's just the darkest shit I've ever heard in my life. Let me jump to the part that really pissed me off the most. This is him asking the AI guy about fear and what we should be scared about.
You said that fear, a little bit of fear is very appropriate here. You've been very transparent about being mostly excited but also scared.
I think it'd be crazy not to be a little bit afraid. And I empathize with people who are a lot afraid. The current worries that I have are that there are going to be disinformation problems or economic shocks or something else at a level far beyond anything we're prepared for.
I think I just hate that he's like, yeah, like all these things I fear are possible, but it's all right. We're just going to keep making it. It's like Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2. He's making the sun. I'm like, Doc Ock, don't make the sun. He's like, no, I got to make the sun. It's like, oh, but it could go wrong. He's like, yeah, but we got to try. I'm like, dude. And then people will say, oh, well, if he doesn't do it, somebody else is. I'm like, yeah, well, the guy that's passed out on the subway, somebody's going to steal his wallet. That doesn't mean you should do it. I don't know, dude. And then people are like, well, technology's coming whether you like it or not. I'm like, all right, cool. I made a robot that'll kick you in the balls 10,000 times a day. Oh, no, I don't want to get kicked in the balls 10,000. Well, technology's coming, bro. Technology's coming. Don't stand in the way. It's coming whether you like it or not. So step up, get ready. Open your legs. Just because you can make something doesn't mean you have to. You know what else is new tech? The atom bomb, okay? But I guess my biggest fear, my insecurity is that, I spent my whole life trying to become a comedian and become good at film and writing. And then they're making these machines that, everybody's saying, oh, in a few years, it'll do it all better than you. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I guess, I spent my life trying to get good at this stuff, and we'll just make machines that'll do it. And I'll sit on the beach all day with Neil, drinking mojitos that an AI made, talking about what? Not talking to Neil, because I could just talk to the AI. I don't know. I just think that we're going to lose our purpose as human. There's a good quote from Shakespeare, right? From Hamlet. What is a man if the chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse, looking before and after, gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fust in us unused. Fust means mold. Basically what he's saying here is, what are we if all we do is sleep and eat? We're animals. We're just animals. Whoever made us with the ability to think the way we do didn't do it so that it'll just mold in us. We're supposed to use this gift we've been given. But I guess you could argue, oh, well, we're using that gift to make this AI. The next step in evolution is robotics and these robots and maybe that's a good argument. I don't know. It still bums me out, dude, because it just leaves us in the dust. Basically, it'll be all taste. artists, it'll be like, no, it's not what I make, it's what I can pull from the AI's art. My friend went to an art fair the other day, and apparently this guy had a bunch of AI art, and he was selling it to old people. They were like, this is so good. And some people might argue, yeah, like, you know, he was smart enough to do that, he could sell it. But I thought that was such a scam, because it's like these people, they're investing. That's what art is, an investment, and they are blindly investing in this thinking he made it. He's not telling them, no, this is a robot made this. So this won't go up in value over time, because people can make this same level of quality within a millisecond. I do think there's people that have used it to in creative ways, and I'm not saying that I haven't been impressed with their ability to use art in a cool way, but I'm never going to be impressed by your ability to type in a few words and get art from it. I'm not going to be like, wow, you made this? I'm going to say, oh, you got it to make this? Again, I go back to the guy that commissioned the Mona Lisa. I'd be like, oh, you paid Da Vinci to make it? That's cool. Where's Da Vinci? Can I talk to him maybe? Can I talk to the guy that painted it? And then people like, you know, there's high schoolers writing essays with it, and people ban it in high schools. And people are like, no, new text coming. You know, it's like the calculator. I'm like, that's not what it's for. The whole point of making a high schooler write an essay is so they can learn to think on their own and articulate their thoughts, right? Like, I don't need to know what 16-year-old Chris thinks about MLK's letter from jail. Maybe I'm a boomer, dude. Somebody commented on a video the other day, like, you need to make more videos. You should use ChatGPT to come up with ideas and maybe even write some. And it was nice that they were complimenting me, but I'm that type of person that I would feel no fulfillment if I got an idea from ChatGPT. You know, there's comedians that in the past, you know, people find out that they, you know, paid other comedians for certain jokes, or even Elvis, people find out he didn't write his music, and that cheapens it for them. They're like, oh, I thought we're moving into a world where that will be everybody, possibly. Everybody's going to use this robot to make their art. Does that not cheapen it for you a little bit? But at the same time, I do think, well, maybe it will remove the narcissistic qualities of art. Maybe we will only make art for the enjoyment of it for ourselves. We won't do it for the monetization or for the acclaim that people will give us. So I think that is a positive, possibly. I want to go to the end. He talks about advice for young people. I thought this was like pretty shitty advice.
Let me ask you for advice for young people.
It's way too tempting to take advice from other people. And the stuff that worked for me, which I tried to write down there, probably doesn't work that well, or may not work as well for other people. Or like other people may find out that they want to just have a super different life trajectory. And I think I mostly got what I wanted by ignoring advice.
Basically, his advice is don't listen to other people's advice. Dude, you're making a machine that could take over every job in the world. How about some advice for young people that's a little more relevant than don't take advice from people? Oh, gee, thanks, dude. How about don't go into law because all lawyers will be robots in the future? That's what I'm looking for. We're moving into a world where you're not going to know what's real, and I think it's like people are like, oh, or people are going to use these fake voice generators to get people incriminated in court. And I think it's actually the reverse. All of this stuff is going to make it so that all the evidence you have against anybody can't be believed. So in reality, instead of being able to get somebody in trouble, you're not going to be able to prosecute somebody anymore because all the evidence you might have could have been AI generated. So that'll be out the window. I think that's the reality, is not that you can frame people, but that everybody will be untouchable because no evidence could be believed. That's what I think. I don't know. I don't dislike this guy. I think he's smart, and obviously he's a genius, and he's likable in this interview, but there's just times where he's like, yeah, like, you know, that could happen. The world could be destroyed by AI, but we're trying to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm like, okay, maybe just don't make it then. I don't know. Maybe I'm a pessimist here or boomer.